Hey, what's up guys? It is the Santa Plays here, and today is a big episode. We are covering the official Unturned 4.0 Trello wishlist. Now there's a lot to cover, so let's just get right in it. And well, this is everything that Nelson wants to add. So starting with vehicles, okay, let's see what we have. So let's go to the types. I'm gonna ignore this since that's a bunch of gobbledygook. So the types, here we go. The things that I want to cover is, look at this. We have horses, we have two-wheeled motorcycles, we have trucks that can have more, so like more wheels, so like 18 wheelers and stuff, like parachutes. But what I want to cover is unpowered trailers. Now this is something where it's like just a trailer, it doesn't have a motor in it, that's why it's unpowered, but it's something you can hook onto the end of, say, a truck and carry it around, and we'll get to that later. So now I want to go to skip physics and go down to interaction, and it says you can open and close the doors, hitboxes, all like that. You can store items in the trunks of vehicles, which is really cool, and there's critical hit areas in like the engine, and bullets can ricochet off of armor that you put on said vehicle. Moving on, since there's a lot of stuff again, we're going to go to combat. Now we're going to skip ballistics and go to gunplay. So in gunplay, the main things that I want to talk about is here at the bottom. Options for chamber to jam as gun wears down. So that pretty much means as you use the gun, there's an option for it to jam, and it'll just be really unfortunate if you're caught in a gunfight. Below that says you can bash with gunstock or bayonet, so you can actually use your gun for just like the back of it as a melee. And yeah, there's below that it's just a random recoil at the end. So yeah, and then up here it's just a bunch of shotgun, like different shotgun shells, different ammo, stuff like that. Okay, so moving on to the melee below that, I want to talk about the fact that you can block, which is up here. So I'm not sure if this is players or if it's zombies, but you can block. They're down here somewhere. Okay, swoop katana to the side and slice several zombies at once. So the freaking katana is going to become OP. And below that, chainsaws, flashlight, and blowtorch uses fuel/batteries, so that's kind of unfortunate. So you're going to need to find that, but it makes sense, obviously. And yeah. So moving from melee, we're going to go to fire. I'm not going to click into it. It's pretty much a feature where if you get caught in fire, you need to stop, drop, and roll. Equipment, you can dual wield guns, and you can like use equipment while driving. Throwables, you can like cook grenades, and the stronger you are, the thrower you can fire grenades. And the gore, okay, the gore, dismemberment from melee combat, meaning if you get sliced in the arm, it'll fall off. If you get sliced in the head, it'll fall off. That's pretty intense. I'm not sure if that's actually going to end up in 4.0. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I feel like it probably won't. Then blood trails from bleeding entities. That means players and NPCs, so zombies and like animals and all that. Makes sense too. I actually really want that to be added. Okay, moving on to the survival aspect. So crafting. So again, a few things I want to talk about is time to craft. Crafting queue and time to craft. That means if you're making something, you can't just click it and it'll be made in your inventory right away. It'll take a few seconds, which makes sense. For this next thing, you need machinery to make it. So you need a furnace to make, I don't know, say like a pickaxe to mold it. You need an anvil to like sharpen it, as like to sharpen a sword you're probably going to need an anvil, and a workbench for, I don't know, some basic things. Okay, and yeah, you can just create lower quality makeshift bullets if you run out of bullets, so you can make makeshift ones, so that's pretty cool. Moving down to scavenging. Okay, I want to talk about, there's an inventory menu for looting cupboards and cabinets. So pretty much you're going to have an inventory like there are in like crates now and like lockers. That's going to be the same for like cabinets. If there's not just going to be stuff laying in them, it's actually going to be like a inventory menu. It takes time to search, which makes sense. It'll be like a 2-second opening animation or something. And dead players are looted by rummaging through their corpse. So everything's gonna actually be in their corpse. They're not just gonna die and everything drops on the ground, except for physical objects that they're holding, such as the primary weapon, and those would probably be dropped separately. Whew, that's a lot. Okay, so moving on to spoiling. So spoiling, fridges actually do shit now, so they cool down your things so food doesn't spoil. Farming, you need water cans or sprinklers or rain to actually make things grow. Medication. Okay, so some things heal in stages, some instantly and some gradually over time, which makes sense. It'll just be different. Some require you to be stationary, makes sense. Buffs will, like, doing something will make you stronger, I guess. Stages of bleeding, so it could get pretty bad in the worst case. In some cases, teammates can be revived with consumable debuffs. So yeah. Okay, moving on to temperature. That obviously just does stuff to your health in the map. Okay, so you can have a chart in your hands, so you can, like, it's not just a button, you actually need it in your hands. You can write on your map, put waypoints, which is really exciting. This thing kind of blows, but these three things actually are pretty exciting. I can't wait to, like, actually know where my base is on the map. And yeah. So that's pretty much all of it for survival. Moving on to the base. So for misc, it's not much, but you can put blocks on buildables in buildings rather than just having a metal door. That's the locked version. You actually need to find a lock and put it on your door. Automation, this is kind of exciting. So there's a lot of automation. So switches for that, pipes for fuel, conveyors for items, switches from on and off, and solar wind, and like that for boilers to make food, and I guess all that. Whew. Alright, moving on to the next side of the page, we have NPCs with zombies, animals, and navigation. So for zombies, this is pretty interesting. So you can either, so there's certain types of death create zombies of the player, which you have to hunt down to retrieve your loot, or potentially play as the zombie of yourself after you die and throw player external force. So pretty much that's actually so interesting. It's actually adding a, not like dying is kind of scary, but like there's like a more like scary effect when you die, because you might lose all of your stuff, or you might have to just like wait your zombie playing out, or maybe you just can't become a human again. I really don't know, but that's very interesting. I'll be excited to see what they implement. Okay, so moving on to the animals, this is kind of interesting too. You can either domesticate them and save your animals so you can herd them and pen them in. You can milk cows instead of killing them, which is pretty cool. And pets can defend you. So if you have a, like a wolf as a pet and you tame it, then it can defend you, which will be pretty interesting. Maybe like the wolf can actually become a zombie himself after he gets bitten or something while defending you. I don't know, it'll be interesting. Moving on to gameplay. Okay, so in your inventory, the weight of the item affects the stamina and movement, which is something. And you can finally stack items in your inventory. Just read that. It doesn't consume inventory. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, now moving on to movement. That was funny. Okay, moving on to movement. You can read all of this if you want, but pretty much hold prone to dive, hold crouch to so hold prone while running to dive, hold crouch while running to slide, lean while prone to roll. So just a lot of movement, which will be interesting in combat. And you can sprint faster while like crouching, or you can sprint crouch or sprint prone. You can lean out of vehicle windows like Battlefield Hardline, and you can free look instead of facing one way. So that's interesting. And you can finally slide down ladders for a quicker descent. Okay, modding, I'm gonna kind of ignore this editor part because there's not a lot of it, but workshop pretty much is an in-game view of your subscriptions and this stuff, gobbledygook. Below that, cinematics, I can't wait for this. This is gonna be amazing. Capture replay of gameplay, which can then be inspected and recorded. So pretty much this is going to make my job a lot easier and make the content a lot better. So the cinematics are, so I can record this way, and I can just do insane cinematics this way. And say I'm just playing while not recording, and something insane happens, then I can go back and actually get that recorded. So I cannot wait for that. Okay, environment for buildings. So you can have tools, I don't know what it'd be like, but you can pretty much carpent and detail the interior of your base or a building or whatever. I'm not sure how this is going to work, if you can paint it or something like that. Random structure variations such as color and layout, so I don't know what this will mean. Just as the buildings are spawned in, it'll be different than, like, I don't know, different server, maybe not. There'll be doors in all the doorways, because that's actually how the world was before, I guess, the apocalypse happened, so that'll stay that way. And smashable or smash glass in all windows, which just makes sense because that's how the world was before the apocalypse. Whew, okay, so moving on to water in the... Okay, wait, is that what I'm in? No. Yes, I am. Okay, so yeah, the water, it'll pretty much just... If you're standing in it, it'll push you, since, you know, that's how water works. Wow. Weather, let's move on to that. It's pretty interesting, the weather. Okay, so there's stages of rain from light drizzle to storm, foggy days, windy days, and lightning strikes. I don't know if the lightning strikes will light things on fire, who knows, but that'll be interesting to find out if that gets implemented into Unturned 4.0. Game modes! Okay, this is so exciting, I cannot wait. Okay, so survival sandbox, this is what we have, 3.0, blah blah blah. Horde, this is pretty much Call of Duty Zombies. So, Unturned, if you want to throw in Call of Duty Zombies, be my guest, I'll play it. Arena, this is what we already have pretty much, but okay, so the circle closes in multiple stages and to different point each stage, rather than just like slowly deteriorating and closing. There's different set points. And escape, I really want this to be a thing. So not a priority until later in development, sadly, but one player starts as a zombie and has to kill all the survivors, who when killed are also turned into zombies. Survivors have to stay alive until rescue arrives and they can escape. I really want this to happen. This sounds really fun, and if a professional developer like Nelson is making this, it'll be pretty fun, because there are some games like this in Roblox. Yeah, but if Nelson is making this, I will definitely play it. On to our final thing, visuals. Okay, so view models. Okay, so you can raise your weapon when too close to cover, which is interesting, so you won't freaking, like, your weapon won't glitch out of the wall so other people can see you. You'll actually bring it up so that glitch doesn't happen. I suppose that's why he's doing this, rather than to just have a cool visual. And there's moving parts in the rig, such as the bolt on a rifle or inserting the magazine. So that's pretty much, we already have a animation for inserting the magazine, but a rig and bolt on a rifle is going to be really cool as an animation, so I cannot wait for that. This is going to be Unturned 4.0. Not all of these things that I talked about are going to make it into the game. By the way, I'll have a link in the description to this Trello link. And yeah, if you notice, I skipped over a lot of things, just like briefly talked about them or totally skipped over them. So link in description if you want to check out those things that I briefly went over or skipped. And yeah, so this will be Unturned 4.0. Like I said, not all of these things are going to be implemented, but I feel like a lot will. If you go here, you can talk about this with everybody else, and if you upvote these things and talk about them on Twitter, Trello, whatever, the things that you want Unturned will make it in if everybody else also upvotes them. So get your opinion in for the final game for Unturned 4.0 game. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, when I heard 4.0 officially announced, I didn't know it'd be this big. Like, I thought it was like, what else do you need in another, like, version of the game 4.0 that you can't possibly do in 3.0? And this is it. It is so much, and yeah, I get it now. It's actually crazy. Now, guys, again, I'm not gonna lie. It does kind of feel like Unturned is leaving its roots and leaving that nice blocky, kid-friendly version of Unturned that we all knew. It's like, I will admit, it is becoming a great zombie game, and it's being the zombie game that it needs to be, but like with the dismemberment of limbs and stuff, it's just kind of leaving that kid-friendly thing. But I really don't care. I'm really excited for this version of Unturned 4.0. Here it comes. Alright guys, thank you so much for your time to watch this video. Now please, can you value my time that I put into this video and give it a like or share it. There are multiple stages to make this video, and even before recording and editing it, I had to read everything on the Trello page and find the most worthwhile things to share with you guys about 4.0. Again, please value the time I put into this video, and for more, subscribe. This is the Santa Blaze, signing off.